78 Sports TV here. Salute to the mighty LDBC. Smash the like button, hit the subscribe, turn on your notification bell so you'll be notified when I drop a new video. And if you're digging the video, go ahead and share this joint. So today, I'm going to talk. I was just rapping with my homie, Tuwa for TV, who I have with me. What's happening with Tuwa?
Hey, what's up, man?
Yes, sir. So me and Tuwa were just chopping it up about some movies and whatnot, and thought it'd be a good idea to bring this conversation to YouTube, okay? And maybe y'all got some advice or some ideas yourself, but we were talking about the idea or the possibility of a Harlem Nights Part 2. Since, Eddie Murphy already made Coming to America 2, a lot of people didn't like it, whatever, but I'm a firm believer that he can make a Harlem Nights Part 2. Harlem Nights is in my opinion, one of the best black comedies ever. Okay, given who was in the movie, star-studded cast. You know what I'm saying? As far as what the movie, didn't the movie? You say the movie tripled its investment?
Yeah, it had a $30 million budget and made like $95 million worldwide. So yeah, it tripled its investment.
Right, and then some haters will have you believe that this movie was some type of flop or failure. Harlem Nights was a classic amongst black people. All right, now, basically, to give a quick rundown, Harlem Nights basically was a movie on where it took place in Harlem in the 1930s, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah.
The 1930s, where Sugar Ray, who was played by the legendary Richard Pryor, had his own nightclub called Sugar Ray's, and you had his son or stepson, or a boy who he adopted as his son, and Eddie Murphy, who was quick, and he had Benny, who was Red Fox, star-studded cast, man, right? But before we get to the cast, we had the basic story plot was that they were being trying to be shaken down by the mob. The Italian mob didn't like the fact that they were profiting, making 10, 15 grand a week, which was some hellacious money back in them days, in the 1930s. So 10, 15 grand a week.
During the Depression, remember?
Yeah, during the Great Depression.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do some quick math on that real quick. I just want to know, I'm curious now. I got to do a quick math equation here. Let's see here.
Let's see.
Oh, you looking up?
I'm looking it up right now.
Okay, yeah.
Continue your point. I'm looking it up right now. You can continue your point.
Okay, but anyway, that was a lot of money back in those days. Making $15,000 a week, and they referenced that several times in the movie. The mafia, a guy named Bugsy Calhoun, who was running his own mafia family, thought that Ray and them was making too much money and was cutting into his product, his business, and he wanted to shake them down and take $10,000 a week from them, and they can keep the rest. How much money is that?
Remember, the movie was set in 1938.
Right.
That was $335,000 a week.
Lord have mercy. $335,000 a week. That's ridiculous. Oh, they cleaning up. They was cleaning up, man. So now, with that being said, the mafia didn't like the fact that these black men was making all this money. They wanted to shake them down. They put the police on them, and all that, crooked cops and all that kind of stuff. What ended up happening, they formed a coalition to where they set the mafia up, and to where they could, beat him for all his money, Bugsy Calhoun, and get out of town safely. And they were able to do that. So like you said, this took place in the 1930s. Now, my idea for the sequel would be if they were to do the sequel in the let's say 30 years later. It would make sense for Eddie Murphy, age-wise and everything. Harlem Nights came out in what? 89, 90?
89. Yeah.
89? Okay, 89. So, yeah, that's about right. You know, have the sequel 30-some years later. Let Eddie Murphy keep his age that he is now, pretty much. And it's more believable. We know Richard Pryor, R.I.P., has passed away. Red Fox has passed away. We know Della Reese has passed away, who was in the movie. So there's still, Charlie Murphy passed away, Eddie's brother. You know what I'm saying? So it was a lot of people in the movie. Tommy
Harris.
Yeah, Robin Harris. Tommy from Martin, he passed away. So it was a lot of people that passed away that, you know, that were in the movie. You know what I'm saying? But now, if you're gonna make it 30 years later, you can have, me and you were just talking about this. We gotta have Martin Lawrence in the movie, in my opinion. I think Martin has to be in there. And me and you were just talking about Martin possibly being like related to Benny, Red Fox or something. And what was your reason for saying that, bro?
Oh, I was just saying, like, I could see him in that Benny role, like, interacting, being sarcastic, funny, cracking on people. You know, also Martin kind of, as he's gotten older, his rhythm has slowed down a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like he got the rhythm of an older person now, and I could just see him in that role being, you know what I'm saying? I could just see him doing that role justice that Red Fox gave.
Right.
In that first movie, I could see him in that role at the craps tables, cracking on people and whatnot. You know, so I could see him doing that.
Yeah,
I could see
basically
him
like
his grandson or something.
Yeah, basically like the king of the one-liners.
Right.
For that movie, yeah, I agree. I think Martin fit that perfectly. I was thinking the same thing. I think Martin being in that movie would be great. I also think Dave Chappelle has to be in the movie if you're gonna model it after the first one, having the best black comedians today in the movie. I think Dave Chappelle has to be in it some way, somehow, whether he's an antagonist on the antagonist side of things or whether he's on the good side of things, doesn't matter. I think he has to be in the movie. What you think about Dave Chappelle?
Yeah. And you know, and that'll be the first time I think they work with each other since Nutty Professor. But they'll be on equal footing this time. So I can see him. I would think, I can see him as a rival gangster. And maybe like, you know, well, we talk about it later on, but there's some, you know, I can see him as a rival gangster.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, and matter of fact, let's get to the storyline that me and you was thinking about before we start talking about all the people who can be in the movie.
Right.
Because I think it'd been better if we started off that way. The storyline, we brainstorming, but like, if they were in Harlem, they left Harlem to get away from the mob, the Italian mob. I don't think you said the movie doesn't necessarily say where they're going. I always thought they went to Chicago.
Well, from reading the synopsis, it said that they were just going off to another city. I don't remember them saying another city, but you know what? They might have did say Chicago, or maybe one of them suggested Chicago. I can't remember.
I always thought it was Chicago. I could be totally wrong though, and maybe I just wanted them to be Chicago. I don't know, but I always thought it was Chicago. But let's just say they did go to Chicago. Okay.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Which would have been probably not the smartest idea if you're running from the mob to go to Chicago. Let's say
the outfit. You got the outfit right there, and then you know the mob is connected. They got an organization, so it wouldn't have been smart.
Well, let's say they went to St. Louis. Let's hypothetically they went to St. Louis.
Right.
Now you go to St. Louis, and now 30 years later, for some reason, let's say we don't know what the storyline gonna be, but Quick has to go back to Harlem. He thinks enough time has passed, ain't nobody tripping on him. he go back to Harlem.
Maybe he's heartsick. You know what I'm saying? He's heartsick, and he needs to go back to his place. You know what I'm saying? Go back home to Harlem.
Yeah, maybe whatever the reason, he back there, and then while he's back there, he finds out that the what's his name Bumpy Johnson is running Harlem. All right?
Right.
And like you said, what's your idea for who can be Bumpy Johnson?
Oh, well, the guy that's playing on now on the television series, Forrest Whitaker.
Right.
Forrest Whitaker can play on.
Yep. I agree, and I think that that'd be great. It'd be familiar with everybody. You bring in the same audience over. I think that if he gets back and he sees that Bumpy Johnson is running Harlem, and then he can also have an antagonist, the Italian antagonist, finds out they back in town. You can have a relative, son, a nephew, whatever, of Bugsy Calhoun. And my idea for the actor is an Italian-American actor named Sebastian. I think his name Maniscola. I don't want to mispronounce his name.
It's something like that. I think you're close.
Maniscola. It's something like that. Sebastian. But he was in The Irishman.
Right. He played Crazy Joe Gallo in The Irishman.
Right. He plays Crazy Joe Gallo in The Irishman. But he's an excellent stand-up comedian. I love his stand-up game. He cold. He raw. So him, I think that'll be good because he's funny and he's Italian and he know how to work them angles. You know what I'm saying? That'll be a dope situation. Now I don't know exactly what the script would be, but I know I personally would want Monique in the movie. Monique could play a role similar to Della Reese's role. I would love to see Monique in the movie. She's funny. I think Monique would. She's good at ad-libbing. I think Monique could kill it. I think she'd kill that.
Right, she's the perfect actress to play that role.
Right. Tracy Morgan. I think Eddie Murphy and Tracy Morgan have a great relationship. So I think Tracy Morgan somewhere in the movie would be good. I don't think it'd be proper to do the movie without Tracy Morgan, only because I think Tracy Morgan I think he's a good comedian. I think he's a solid actor. And I think that him and Eddie Murphy's relationship can't do the movie without Tracy Morgan, in my opinion.
Right.
Chris Rock. In my opinion, only Eddie Murphy can pull this off. And this would have the theater going nuts. You get Will Smith to do a cameo, and you have Chris Rock slap fire out of Will Smith for whatever reason. I think Will agree to it too. I think Will Smith would agree to do the movie just for that one scene, just to say he was a part of Harlem Nights too. I think Will would agree to it. You have Chris Rock slap fire out of Will Smith. That's gonna have the theater going nuts. And just don't tell nobody it's even in the movie. Don't even tell nobody it's in the movie. And just sneak it up on them. You know what I mean?
Right.
Taraji P. Henson. I would love to see her in the movie as somebody's wife. Nice and classy with her beautiful, fine self. What you think about Cat Williams in the movie?
Yeah. I think that would be a perfect venue for him. You know what I'm saying? I just been trying to figure out like what role he would play in that movie, in that particular movie, because you definitely can see him as a pimp character, unless he could be like the neighborhood pimp or whatever, or the biggest pimp in Harlem. I guess he could be like a character outside of the Rays or the Quicks venue.
Right.
I can see him being like the biggest pimp or like a pimp, the biggest Harlem pimp. I can see him in that role. I could definitely see him in his movie. It need to be star-studded. And Eddie Murphy, like you said, is the one guy that has the pull to get these guys in his movie.
He can do it.
All it takes is like 1 or 2 days of filming at most for most of these guys. So he can definitely pull it off.
Eddie can do it. He can pull it off. He got enough clout, enough legendary status to say, I'm doing Harlem Nights 2. Right? Or if they're in another city, let's hypothetically, Chicago Nights, which is still Harlem Nights 2. You know what I'm saying? Whatever.
Right.
St. Louis Nights. Who cares? Everybody gonna know it's Harlem Nights 2. With that being said, Eddie Murphy got enough clout to pull all this family, this beautiful black family together and have everybody, even people who don't like each other, he got enough clout to get them all in the same room to do a movie. And even if people shoot or film and don't talk to each other afterwards, which is still petty, but I ain't gonna lie. I wouldn't mind seeing Steve Harvey in the movie somewhere. I wouldn't mind seeing him or Cedric. I love Cedric. I think Cedric funny. You know what I'm saying? I can see Cedric being tell them your idea about
yeah.
Arsenio Hall.
So the idea I got is that one of the reasons why Eddie Murphy's character Quick comes back is because he figured everybody's dead.
Right.
I mean, it's been about 30 years. You know what I'm saying? Virtually everybody that was back in that scene, you know, because Quick was only 27 years old, so everybody pretty much is dead and stuff. So, unbeknownst to him, he gets spotted by a character that was supposedly deceased from the first movie, and that is Arsenio Hall's character.
Right.
Because remember, we assumed he died.
Right.
We assumed he died. He got shot once.
Right.
But in reality, you could say, well, he really just passed out from the wound.
Right.
So he's under this impression that, you know, all these people are dead. But then one day, Tommy Small's brother, I forgot his character's name, Arsenio Hall's character's name, but he sees him the same way that he saw Quick coming out of that building in the first movie.
Mm-hmm.
He spots him coming out of a hotel or something, the same situation. Everybody had that instant recall, like, okay, you know. So that's how I think he gets spotted by Arsenio Hall's character, who never actually was killed from the first movie.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. I definitely see that. You know what I'm saying? That'd be dope. That'd be dope. And that's believable too. You know what I'm saying? Another guy who I think they should find a spot for, just, you know, even though Robert Harris was in the first movie and he had a small part in the movie, but he was there. I think they should put Corey Holcomb in the movie somewhere. I think he would bring a lot of legitimacy to the movie as far as the I think, me personally, I think Corey Holcomb is on the Robin Harris level as far as the vibe, you know, being connected to the streets and like that underground comedy scene. I think this generation's Robin Harris is kind of you know, no disrespect to Robin Harris, but I think Corey Holcomb is up there as far as that.
Right.
Now, what do you think about? Let's talk about the plot, because I'm hoping that they see this and they do something with it. You know what I'm saying? They probably ain't gonna give us no money. They probably gonna act like they didn't see it and they're gonna steal it. But regardless, what do you think about plot wise? You know, other than what we just said, what could be a good storyline for part 2?
Well, obviously, coming back in town, the rivalry that's going to spark off between the Italian mob led by Sebastian's character and Quick. But also, I'm trying to think how this will work. I think another thing thing that could be in this movie is, we're talking about the mid 60s, so things is different than the 30s. So it might be like more of a pressure for quick to get involved in other things than the traditional vices.
Right.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Drugs, and that's something that could be a side issue. But basically, you don't want the movie to be something that it shouldn't be, like a social commentary type thing. But I'm thinking about a secondary antagonist too. I'm thinking about like another antagonist, and maybe that's the Dave Chappelle character we're talking about.
Right.
A lot of times, movies have a secondary antagonist. It could be like, maybe at first Dave Chappelle is an antagonist, but then he and Eddie Murphy's character link up.
Right.
The way the Sebastian character.
The way Smalls was supposed to do with Eddie before he got murked.
Right.
Yeah, I can see that.
As a matter of fact, wait a minute. Dave was a little bit too, Eddie's age. You think that it could be possible? But no, we can't do that, because what about if Dave Chappelle is Tommy Small's unseen younger brother?
That might work. That could work. I mean, they could make it work. I mean, they did Coming to America and had this dude Eddie Murphy have a whole daughter. Ain't nobody seen this man have relations the whole time. But the man got a whole daughter now.
Right.
So yeah, they definitely can make it work. If they want to make it work, they can do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would agree, man. I don't know where I would go with the storyline other than I think it's a movie that Eddie Murphy and them need to really take into consideration doing, because whatever. I don't know what the budget like and what people gonna want or whatever, but it's a movie that was important to the black culture at the time, still is important. It's still a cultural movie that I still watch that movie to this day and crack up laughing. You know what I'm saying? I was watching clips of Harlem Nights the other day. So I think that Eddie Murphy and his team and whoever else needs to take a look at the movie and what we're saying, dive off into it. I would love the people in the comment section to put some ideas in on what they feel should be a script, should be the script, or any ideas or storylines or something like that. You know what I mean? But
I know one thing we forgot to mention. When we were talking about it needs to be like a young Thundercat.
Oh yeah, that's another thing. Yeah, it gotta be another quick, because Eddie Murphy too old to be the young Thundercat now. It gotta be who could do that now? Who could be the young Thundercat right now? Who could be the young quick?
Do you think that maybe since we're in a social media age, they should take somebody that's popular off of social media, like Kanad Cat?
I don't know who is Kanad Cat. Who that?
One that turned down the Kamala Harris people.
I don't know him. I like old boy. What dude with the big fish eyes? Funny dude.
Oh yeah.
Shoulder King or something?
Shoulder King. Yeah.
Man, dude would be hilarious. He'd be hilarious.
Yeah. You're right.
Yeah, I like Shoulder King. He'll do it. Yeah, he'll do the damn thing on that. Shoulder King. In my opinion.
Yeah. That's even better. Yeah, he can be quick, son. He keep making jokes about his eyes or whatever.
Yeah,
jokes about his eyes. Yeah. That's a good idea, man.
Yeah. Eddie, if you're listening, if you're people listening, hit these people up, man. Y'all come up with a script, do a Harlem Nights Part 2. 30 years later, it's the 1960s, or if you even want to do the early 1970s. And that way, Cat Williams can really be doing some pimping in the movie. You know what I'm saying? But regardless of the fact, I think the movie would be awesome if they do it right. You know what I'm saying? Times change nowadays. You can't really. Comedy has changed. Only few people are still being bold. People like Dave Chappelle and a few others. But a lot of other people have pretty much got scared to even say anything. You know what I mean? So, thanks, man. So at the end of the day, we want to thank y'all for joining us, man. Smash the like button, hit the subscribe, share this video. Send this video to your favorite Hollywood producers and all them people. Send it to Eddie Murphy. Bombard Eddie Murphy's Instagram, wherever else you got, Twitter. Send it to Cat Williams. Send it to Monique. Send it to everybody. Chris Rock and all of them. And hopefully these brothers and sisters will get it together. And y'all let us know in the chat how y'all feel about the idea. We up out of here. Salute to my brother Two Off for TV. Make sure y'all go subscribe to the channel. Two Off, tell the people where they can find you.
They can find me on YouTube with Two Raw for TV. And you can find me on the Patreon under the same name, Two Raw for TV.
Yes, sir. And we'll catch y'all in a minute. We up out of here. Deuces.
Peace.